In this video, you'll be learning about this topic. So Ed, in the latest earnings call, JPMorgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon was openly reflected on the potential double dip recession. Could you please take us through some of those scenarios?
Yeah, I think that the scenario is a combination of what's happening both on the consumer level as a result of the coronavirus and also in terms of the fiscal level. And that's where potentially the two come together. So let me put it this way, that the United States, we've had 3 waves of the coronavirus. We had the first wave, which gave us the shutdown, which was fairly global. GDP really went down hard across the globe. Everyone reopened in the spring to the summer, but the United States had a second wave of coronavirus infections. And that wave was concentrated in the South. We saw some modest falls in economic growth there, but it wasn't a widespread national wave. And so overall, even despite the rollback in the reopening, we were able to continue to grow at really high rates. Now we're in the middle of a third wave, which started probably in the late October, mid-October timeframe. And the numbers are starting to rival what they were in the first wave, except it's not as concentrated. But the numbers are high enough that, we're talking 100,000 people almost hospitalized across the United States, that we're getting to healthcare system overload in many different places. And that has precipitated a number of shutdowns, rollbacks of the economy. And that's what's causing a degree of growth to roll over. The more we get these shutdowns, the more you have the hospitalization causing overload of the healthcare system, the higher the probability that that rolls over into a near recession or recession territory. And then when you add to that the fiscal side, then there's an even greater risk there. On December 11th, we have the potential for a government shutdown if a new budget isn't agreed to. We also have 2 other deadlines. I believe it's the 26th for pandemic unemployment assistance to be re-upped, and then December the 31st for the eviction moratorium to be halted. So there are a number of so-called fiscal cliffs coming forward, which could have enough of a shock to the economy, both psychologically and also in terms of just absolute dollars being spent into the private sector, that it would take us over the edge, even if the shutdowns and the consumer behavior from the wave of coronavirus didn't do that. So Jamie Dimon, I think he's totally right when he says there is a risk of a double dip. In fact, I would consider double dip to be my base case, given where we are right now. So when I say base, 40 to 50% probability, if not more, that we see GDP roll over into negative territory.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on the next podcast episode and new investing resources.
What are your takeaways and thoughts on this discussion? Let us know in the comments section below.